everyone, and welcome back to UHC Tips and Tricks episode 2. Thank you all so much for the feedback and support on the first episode of this series, and this has definitely become one of my favorite series to make on this channel. And just a quick update on the channel is that my computer has practically broken down, and I haven't been able to record or stream anything as of recent, though the editing this episode has still been possible because, I don't know, it sort of works, it's just not good enough to really play any Minecraft. Though, I've ordered my new computer, and that should be here in the near future. But besides that, let's get straight into this episode of UHC Tips and Tricks, and the topic for today is caving in UHC. Things you need to know before you go down in the caves. Caving really comes down to a bit of efficiency and a bit of luck, so don't get too frustrated if you don't mind full diamond one game and full iron the other. You should also have a Fulbright pack ready to cave with over all your packs. I've linked my Fulbright light map in the description. Just put your brightness to the max and you're ready. Most UHC texture packs already have highlighted ores included, but if they don't, be sure to try to find any pack with them. They're extremely useful in noticing ores easily in caves. It will make your caving experience a lot easier. Also, try for very clear, noticeable diamonds compared to the others. Red ores that look like redstone are really never the way to go. And finally, efficiency is key. Don't take too long in certain parts of the cave, because for more cave you cover, the more useful things you find. And when in doubt of not having a cave for a while, feel free to relocate. Alright, now let's begin with step 1 of caving tips, and that is the biome. Before you even go caving, you have to make sure you have a decent sized cave to explore to get yourself some gear. There are a lot of theories about when there are different biomes, they hold bigger caves, and that some biomes hold some more diamonds than the others. There really isn't any concrete evidence of any of this, but I'm just going to say from what I've learned from like the 4 to 3 years I've played of UHC, the best spots to cave in when it comes to biome that I think. It might be different for you, but this is what I think. So, you don't want to cave in any of these following biomes. A mega taiga. Roof forests, though these might sometimes have good caves. Ice spikes, taigas, no plains, mesas, jungles, oceans, and mushroom biomes. Don't cave in those areas. I just always find myself not finding anything in those biomes, so just stay away from it. Though it really comes down to luck, I am most consistent in the following biomes for finding good cave systems. Forests or birch forests, plains, extreme hills, deserts, and swamps. Here are also some combinations you can do that I found to be pretty consistent for finding a good cave, and it's if you're at a plain and you see a large forest nearby, staircase starting in the plains and go towards the forest with your staircase. Most of the time, you'll find a nice and open cave like this. This is really just luck. If you're in a swamp and you see an extreme hills, start your staircase at the swamp and head towards the extreme hills, which sometimes works for me also. Don't dig down in the middle of open plains, always aim to be near another biome. I found plains to be a 50-50 stretch on if they're either good or bad. Finally, in the end, remember there really isn't concrete evidence on if all of this is correct, and it might be different depending on what version of Minecraft you're playing on. It's just really what I found most consistent to me, and now we're finally done with picking what biomes to cave in. Let's actually get to the caving. Step 2, finding a cave. There are many approaches really to picking where to cave in a UHC, but my personal favorite really is trying to find an untouched surface cave that never seems to end. You can practically find surface caves anywhere in the map, except in deserts, unless you're in 1.8. To know if a surface cave is good or not, simply peek into it real quick to see if it gets deeper and deeper, but don't stay too long or else you'll find yourself mining without wood, which is something I constantly do in UHCs, and it's just a really big mistake. Two other approaches you could go for digging down is the simple 2x1 down, but be cautious, there has been many moments where a ravine will be under you, and that could end your game in seconds. And if you don't find anything digging straight down, you could either completely relocate to a new location or start staircasing towards 0-0 if you're snowballing, or staircase to border if you're border camping. The other approach is a staircase down until you find a cave, which is what I do most often. Staircasing is something you'll find yourself doing a lot in UHCs, and the general rule is of it in most servers is that you must start in a level at Y32 or higher, so you can start in the surface or at Y32, and once you hit bedrock, you have to go back up to Y32 to commence digging down again. If, let's say if you're in a cave and you run out of cave at Y11, you can from Y11 dig straight down to Y5 and then go up to Y32 again, which is ruled on Badline. I don't know about other servers, but that's what I do constantly. The best way to staircase is by simply digging 1 block ahead of you, then digging down straight 3 blocks, then going down. Keep repeating this until you hit bedrock. When heading up, just do a normal 1 block up staircase until you hit Y32, or if you hear sounds. Sounds are important in UHC, and for caving I recommend you have your audio a little bit higher than usual. If you play with less than 100% sounds, let's say you play with 80, maybe play with 85, with a surround sound headset. This will make digging to noise easiest. When staircasing, also always try to be shifting unless you're like traveling quickly through the staircase to avoid being dug to, and aim to have at least an iron pickaxe when doing this so you don't take forever just staircasing, because that can get boring. And step 3, which is the resources. Now that you're finally in your cave, let's actually start getting to what you need in UHC. Take note that during this time, if PvP is on, always be sure to be on the lookout for players to avoid getting backstabbed and having the ability to get the jump on them. The first thing you're going to want to get as soon as you get into the cave, depending on the game mode, is coal if it's a completely vanilla UHC. When getting coal, I always start off with getting 16 of it for my initial iron and food, but I later get more depending on how many resources I need to cook. You can also use wood as a substitute if that's your thing. I just use coal because I prefer it. Once you have your coal, or if the game mode is cut clean, go on and start grabbing all the iron you can find. Try to go deeper into the cave as you get iron, and if possible, to get a head start at low Y level and grab exactly 32 iron ore to make a complete set of iron pickaxe, and a sword, and a bucket. Later on in the game, after you've gotten enough diamonds for enchants, you will need 31 iron to make an anvil, but if you want to get a head start on that, just go ahead. I usually grab my 31 iron after making my diamond pickaxe, but it's really personal preference. You also may want to grab around 8 extra iron after all that, because a manual sharp 3 iron, which I'll explain in a future episode with XP and combining and everything, you're going to need 8 iron ingots, really minimum, to make a sharp 3 iron. Once you have your iron pickaxe, go ahead and try to head to the lowest part of the cave as you can. Try to go down anywhere you get a chance to until you're around the Y11 level, but now you're most likely already past a few valuable ores. So here's a quick showcase of what spawns from where from what I know. Iron ore and coal ore can spawn anywhere underground from Y64 and down, even some higher levels if you're lucky. Lapis lazuli ore is found from Y32 and down, and if you're playing a UHC in 1.8, be sure to grab this dark blue ore for enchanting. In 1.7, you don't need it unless you want to mine it for levels. Gold ore is found from Y32 and down, so be sure to get all the gold you see. Redstone ore is found from Y16 down, and it's just a good source of levels. Finally, diamond ore is found from Y16 and down, though you'll most likely find it in cave levels of Y11 to Y14. From watching a lot of videos, I've found out that really, if strip mining is allowed in that UHC, Y9 is the best spot to strip mine. Just a random tip: if strip mining is allowed in the UHC, it's usually never allowed and you'll probably get banned if you do it, so don't do it. Now, when you found yourself in a very large and promising cave, you need to try to be as quick and efficient as possible. You're going to want to get yourself a water bucket as soon as you can to cross lava pools quick, and once you have it, go around and about your cave memorizing where you've been and where you've left anything like redstone to grab later. Like, be sure to only grab really during this time diamonds and gold, because I'm going to explain later how levels work and what I do best, I guess, to be more efficient in my caves and efficient with my levels. If you find diamonds and it's a vein of 5, go ahead and make a diamond pickaxe to make everything quicker and smoother. This would be also a great time to go ahead and grab some obsidian for enchants. Now let's talk a little bit about enchanting and levels. Step 4, enchanting / levels. I'll be speaking more in depth about enchants in a future video, but practically try to enchant everything of use as soon as possible, including your pickaxe, and try to maintain your levels at max 16. Once you're at level 16, XP will start going up slower, so it's smart to grab your enchants once you reach that level and then start enchanting bugs and such when 16 again. Step 5, are you going to be continuing or heading up? Now that you've enchanted your initial items, you can either decide to continue caving or head up. If you decide to head up, simply dig straight up, but move away from the roof hole being broken every time to avoid unexpected gravel or lava. Make sure nothing is falling to hurt you, and do this every time you stack up and get ready to break more blocks to head up. Once you're up on the surface, you're done with caving. It's up to you to go PvP and get more gear through that way now. But if you decide to continue caving, try to explore as much of the good parts of the cave as you can. This means check every corner of lava pools, follow them when you can, try to go through all side of Y11 caves and don't get lost. If you have to place cobblestone around to keep track of where you've been, that's fine. Don't waste your time going up to really high Y levels or anything above Y25. You want to stay near the diamond level, really. Once you're out of an area to explore, try to dig sounds around you that may sound like a more diamond level cave, and if there's no more, start staircasing like mentioned before until you find another cave system. If you're stuck without a cave for a while, it'd be best to relocate or go ahead and start PvPing if snowballing was your choice. In step 5, if you decide to stay caving, the result can really be all over the place. You can be either mining a full set of diamond or no diamonds at all. It really comes down to luck and efficiency. I try usually to be enchanted before 20 minutes before PvP turns on in most servers, but if you're not, it's fine. You can still take your time until meetup or border to gain more diamonds. I've had games where I didn't find any diamonds all game, and in the last 5 minutes, I find an amazing cave that gives me diamonds left and right for full diamond. Too many diamonds can't hurt, but don't freak out if you don't get too many in the early game. Just one piece of diamond is enough to go snowballing with, and 3/4 diamond is sometimes enough for border camping. In other words, it's going to be a different outcome most of the time. I myself have my bad caving games and good caving games. You probably only see my good caving games on this channel because those are usually the games I win because I'm well off. And really on any other channel you'll see them mining well, but trust me, they have their off games too. Like I said in the beginning, it comes down to luck and efficiency, though if you've done all this, you've gotten a good caving game, and all you have left is the PvP portion of the game, which we'll talk about in a future episode. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of UT Tips and Tricks. I sure do enjoy making these a ton, and I'd just like to give another huge thanks to you guys for the support and feedback on the first episode of this series. If you guys have any tricks of your own for caving, feel free to comment down below, and even help other people in the comments if they have any questions, because I know I didn't cover every possible thing in this episode. As long as it is There's so many things that come down to caving. And if you want another helpful video and a bit different from mine, I'll leave the Best Ginger 13's caving tip in the description. I'm going to be trying to add more and more to this episode really as the series goes, like making a caving part 2 video. If I learn a lot of new things about how to be more efficient, I'll be sure to update you guys. But yep, I think that's going to be it for this episode, guys. The next episode will be up to what you guys want most in the comments, so feel free to comment down below what you guys want, thumbs up, what trick or really strategy I have in certain parts of UHC. And if this video helped you out in any way, feel free to like the video. I'd really appreciate it. And that's going to be all. Have a good one, everyone, and thanks for watching.